Hello, everybody. A beautiful, wonderful, sunny, gorgeous blue sky day in Germany. Birds are singing, bells are chiming, and I feel fine. It's been awesomely peaceful, such a beautiful energy of peace around. Hello, Suzette. Much, much love to you, beautiful one. I'm so glad you're back. Yeah, I'm so glad. So missed you, missed your sunny verse, especially when we haven't got sun. Hello, my beautiful Care Bear. How are you, my sweetheart? Wishing you the most beautiful, beautiful time in the mountains and just chill. Yeah, just pour love at your husband and give him time. Give him this time. I can understand sometimes that men can get jealous over, possessive over their loved ones, indeed. But yeah, you're going to enjoy it. Yeah. So I think just before we start, I have to tell you, I've been also challenging myself to work with a whole new program, which is interesting. My eyes are feeling very dim. I keep cleaning my glasses, hoping that it's just my glasses. But hey, it's not. Who's that? Dale, beautiful Dale. Love you so much. And he hails from my beautiful sunny South Africa. Lots of power going on. And then I lost all my notes. I just lost like a whole pile of my notes because this is not easy. It is very easy, but it's not easy. But I think it's just so yummy and important. And we're definitely going to have to do another aspect of it. And I am putting it together slowly into a kind of book form because I think that these goddesses are just so powerful in what they stand for that we can create such beautiful power within our lives. So let's use the Tibetan bells for now and just clear the space. And I love these because they're the Om Mani Padme Hum, which they say is the most powerful mantra because it encompasses everything. It is the jewel in the lotus coming out of the mud, so and blossoming into all its aspects of glory and wonder. So Yolanda, hello, you lovely. Thank you so much for all being here and this beautiful support. And thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. They really give me a lot of encouragement. Oops, sorry, I'm just trying to get something off the floor. You know, there's always something, always a fiddle and a faddle. I have ADHD, or they called it the fidgets in my day. Yeah. So we've just come to the end of Navratri, which is the celebration of, who's there? Grace. Hello, beautiful Grace. Thank you so much for being here. I've been thinking of you so much while I've been putting this together, but not when I lost all my notes. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes now for us. So I think I tried to make it easily understandable, and then I lost the plot completely. It became completely ununderstandable again. I remember somebody saying, if you want to work with the goddesses, you're completely crazy. But anyway, that kind of works for me. So Navratri is, hello Josh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you too so much, Josh. No, sorry, I was in the background. Kind of feel that I need an extra day or 10, but we'll just get through this. The goddesses are absolutely incredible, and they celebrate Navratri 4 times a year, but most people only celebrate it once a year. So the smaller festivals of her are actually more powerful for the kind of devotees, but she just encompasses, the more I've I've kind of dipped into this, the more I realize how much the goddesses encompass every form of all of us, not just the women, but all of us. So as I said, I did just sillily delete and lose almost all my notes. So we will continue with what we can do. So I know, and it's just thank you, Grace. It will, and it's just so I really feel quite special about this. So as I said, I'm trying to put it together into a book form kind of journal so that we can get our mind around it and be ready for the big Navratri, which I think is in October. And it is always with the Indian stuff. It's always about conquering the light, conquering the dark. Yeah, and something I'm always just quite fascinated. Yolanda, blessings. Thank you. The ones that doesn't understand working with. Yeah, it is. It is working. I just found it just so much richer. It just gives us so many more aspects of ourselves. Yeah. In Christianity, if you have the Mother Mary, you don't have too many aspects of her, yeah, and it puts her on a pedestal which very few of us can actually relate to. She's always over there. She's not relatable, yeah. So the Hindus have, for thousands of years, put this stuff beautifully together. It's not an easy topic to get your brain around because there's so many slight variations, depends whether you're from the north or from the south, but they all basically celebrate the same stuff and acknowledge the same things, fundamentally the same. But let's just start off here with a little story, and let's put this lady. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I've got too many things, but we'll make a plan. So bear with me, and you're also great, and I'm just mushing my way through this here. So, very briefly and very basically, the story, you see, I can't share both these things, and that's okay. Okay, so we put this into a little bit of a fun story. So, these are all, these are huge epochs, yeah. When it says 9 days, these are all about the battles in heaven. So, and the Indians they are only just unearthing this stuff and claiming it for themselves, because for a long time they didn't. It was like had been taken into the hands of the colonialists, and that was what everybody was reading until only fairly recently have they claimed back their own interpretations and their own stories and their own history. So they also in such an incredible growing and awakening phase of their life. So once upon a time, in the heavens, the gods were having a big problem. A buffalo demon named Mahishasuru had become the ultimate troublemaker. He was a powerful and impossible to beat, and he loved causing chaos. He'd scared all the gods and even stolen their lunch. The gods sat down for a big meeting. We need a hero, but not just any hero, said Lord Shiva, adjusting his trident. We need someone strong, clever, and unstoppable. And so the gods decided to combine their powers and create the ultimate warrior. But there was a problem, because by hook and by trickery, Mahashisaru, this demon buffalo, had made a wish for himself that he would never be defeated by a god or by a male. So they very cleverly decided to combine their powers and create a goddess who would be both fierce and fabulous. They pooled their energies, and tada! Durga was born. She wasn't just any goddess. She was a supercharged powerhouse with 10 arms, each holding a cool weapon, swords, bows, and even a big shiny disc. And even she got all these wonderful weapons from the gods, from Brahma, from Shiva, and from, what's the other guy's name? Vishnu. So Durga didn't need to sit in a chair for very long and wait for the action to begin. So she jumped upon a trusty lion and super strong, majestic creature and charged straight into battle against Mahishasura. Mahishasura, looking smug, was like, yeah, you think a lion and some shiny weapons can beat me? Durga smiled and said, I don't just fight with weapons, I fight with my heart. They fought fiercely, and Durga was unstoppable. Oops. Am I actually there? Because I lose this for a bit. Hi, can you actually hear the story? Because I'm jumping around in windows. So can you hear the story? Otherwise I'll have to busk it. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear the story I'm telling you? Anyway, so she had all these incredible weapons and she brought on all the forces. She actually brought a whole team of goddesses, created them to come and help her. And the battle raged and raged and raged. It raged on and on for 9 days. He tried to strike. She blocked him with a sword. And every time he tried to fly away, she shot an arrow straight at him. The battles raged for 9 whole days, and Durga never slowed down. And by the 10th day, with one final swipe of her sword, she defeated Mahishasura and sent him flying into the heavens. So what she created over those incredible 9 days, can you guys hear me, or am I lost in translation somewhere? You can. Cool. Awesome. Sorry, I told you I'm with a different program and I can't. It's fine. We're coping. So these are the 9 aspects of Durga, but we break them up. It keeps being broken up into bits and pieces. But let's just start, because with the first day, so I lost my beautiful notes, which is fine. So sometimes she's riding a tiger, and these are all her wonderful weapons that she has. And sometimes she's riding a lion with all 10 amazing arms. She has a mace, she has an arrow, she has a sword, she has a trident, she has a scythe, she has a disc. I can't remember all the others. I have put them aside. Here they are. A lot of her weaponry. She has the conch shell, which also signifies the Om sign, the beginning of all creation. And she is one of the most revered goddesses of the Hindu tradition. So she comes in 9 forms. And the first is, if we think about her being, I put them with the name at the bottom, otherwise we will get completely confused. She signifies the maiden, and off she goes. She goes and she signifies purity, strength, and courage. So that's day 1. And she's the innocence. She's the young maiden going out. She was born of the mountains. She's innocent. She's riding Nandi, which is Shiva's beautiful white trusty bull. And these are also part of our journey in life, our sacred journey, our hero's journey for girls. And she's just with total purity and innocence. The next goddess, I prefer her like this, but I really think these images are absolutely beautiful. I'm so proud of them. The next Day 2, she is Brahmacharini, who holds this. She's into the blossom of youth, into teenagehood, and she holds the sacred water pot, which signifies purity. And she signifies purity and asceticism, prayer and devotion. Then she moves on into life as the young, just 20. If you, I like to look at her as, let me just see what age she has. Sorry, just bear with me here. I told you I messed up my things. Oh, they were so beautifully done. I told you it's not so. It doesn't really matter. We've got the goddesses. And here she, and her devotion. It's just that beautiful innocence of about a 14, 15-year-old, just opening into this, blossoming into her innocence and into devotion. And she holds her mala beads and the water pot of purity. Sometimes the lotus always signifies purity. And then she moves into the third day, which is Chandraganta, which she holds the crescent moon of Shiva, so that it's kind of when girls start to think about boys, to late teenagehood, her early 20s. She is full of beauty and power. This is when you hire a teenager, and because they know everything. I just want to see what her weapons actually signify. She symbolizes beauty and strength, often depicted with the half moon of Shiva. Sorry, I'm not doing this as nicely as I had planned, but we got her. She's usually sometimes on a tiger and sometimes on a lion. I did ask somebody once what it actually meant, and they said it was one, basically a vowel in the mantra, which brings her on a lion or a tiger. But here she is in all her absolute beauty. And then she moves on to Kushmanda, who is the creator. So this is us girls when we're in our 20s and we're going out to get a career. We feel incredibly powerful. We have all sorts of aspects of ourselves. We're strong. We're going to conquer the world. We're full of creation. We can create absolutely anything that we want. The world is our oyster. So and then we move into her mid-20s, where she becomes Skandamata, which is the mother. It's a completely different essence that we actually adopt in our life. We become very fierce. We change from being that strong, powerful, creating woman for ourselves, and we turn into a mother which is full of compassion, but at the same time incredibly strong. We will fight like spiders for our children. After she moves from Skandamata, which is on the fourth day, Skandamata on the fifth day, she moves into the warrior goddess of Katyayani. And Katyayani is the Skandamata holding her child. And she really just holds her child, and her hand is actually in the protection to drive away fear. And she holds the two beautiful lotuses of purity, which signify that beautiful goddess of motherhood. She's not running around with weapons. I think if you've been a mother, you know that you will then move into quite easily the warrior goddess. Don't hurt my babies. I will fight with everything that I possess. So she grabs a whole pile of weapons, always maintaining her purity and driving away fear as well. And she signifies the warrior goddess, representing courage and protection. You know, we'll fight, we'll lay down our lives for our children. Now she's getting older. She's getting into her 40s and her 50s, and then she moves into the next phase of the goddess, which is the one which many of us is our warrior goddess, her weaponry. Always very regal. We move into Kalapatri, who is Kali, but she's called Kalapatri here. And she takes on so much of that wild woman who is now really out to fight and to absolutely destroy. And she can go a little completely gaga if she's not stopped from her absolute destruction. She's moving into her final phase of life, which is into her 50s, into her 60s, where she's now strongly protecting her family and all the values that she's put up with. I love the fact that she rides a donkey, which is really interesting for me, in that, as we know, that donkeys can so often have their own mind, and it just signifies her absolute power and determination to cut through anything, and her control of everything, because that donkey is going to go. It's not going to stop and to smell the roses. So she is in her complete power, wielding all her glory and all her terror for her, shouting at the bear to leave her family alone. She assumes she gets so full of fire that she actually turns black. And the story here is that Shiva said, well, where's my beautiful, beautiful goddess? So after being that serious woman of absolute destruction, she moves into the phase of Mahagauri. So she's spent, and now it's a phase of absolute purity. She's often known as the white goddess, and she is the goddess of purity, beauty, and wisdom. And she symbolizes, after that great big fight that's removed darkness and evil, she symbolizes wisdom and peacefulness, where she can just like rest. It's not in the story that Shiva lays down. Just remember that the goddess Kali alone has 7 aspects to her. So it just becomes layer upon intricate layer. She is really beautiful and at peace. Yet again, riding Nandi the bull, Shiva's made peace with her. She's made peace with her wild side. I think as people get older, they also realize that it doesn't help. It's not worthwhile to fight. It's just not anything for peace, but just let peace reign. And the final day, she becomes Siddhidatri. Siddhis are the magic powers that the yogis get. You know, these are the levitation and making yourself small or making yourself big. She is the goddess of perfection and accomplishment. She brings all forms of success into one's life. So she is now at peace. She's accomplished her insights. She's accomplished her little space of nirvana until it starts again. And what is very interesting is that on the last day, she's actually joined by Ram, who symbolizes the male aspect of the perfect prince, the perfect man. He symbolizes power, dedication, transformation. I'm trying to find my notes on him. Rama Rama. Nope, I'm not going to find them now. Sorry, guys, this is not going as nice as it would have liked it to have gone. I just completely lost the wobble when I lost all my beautiful notes. It was so simple in my brain space. Let's see if we've got his story here. No. No. I'm very upset that I can't read this at the same time as putting it down here at the same time. And she symbolized, she is now sitting within that lotus of purity. The discs symbolize purity and the chakras. I love this mudra. It's driving away fear. And yet again, this beautiful, she's in total peace and total control of herself. Yes. She is absolutely, she's the goddess of, she's the creative goddess. So did you take a screenshot there, Grace? I didn't know that, Yolanda. Thank you. Oh, they're strong and they're very hardy, huh? And I just find it just so interesting. Who's moving? Yolanda's moving. Yolanda, have you got the basics of the feng shui map? If you email me, I will send it to you. Just writing this down here. Oh, sorry, it's not supposed to be in caps, but there it is. There's my email address. So if you email me, yeah, it's very much, it's really spring cleaning time at the moment. They are also beautiful. Did you take a screenshot, Grace, or I can send it to you? I'm not sure if I'll put it on my, oh no, but you know what happens when I put it on my YouTube, it actually chops it up a little bit. So, and I'm not into, as I said, in a week or two. Oh, thank you. And it is so, they're so complicated. For me, I'm finding it's really like having to create whole new pathways in my 64-year-old brain. I find something, I don't know why I've tackled this, but yes, I have. And I know I can see the overview, and I've just got so excited, which I'm not going to go into now because I think we need a better diagram to see how let me put all these goddesses up here. Grace, did you take a screenshot, or I'll go back to her? And I've got it I don't see so well. Yeah, just send me an email and I'll send you what we have. Let's just see if Grace, I know which one Grace loves. We all love this one. I actually love this one as well, the symbol of motherhood. She's really beautiful. That's the one. Is that the one, Grace? But it's kind of chopped off there. Does it look better? Let me see. Can I do that? Does that work better? Maybe that works better. No, it works better. So it's a different, there we go, that works better, I hope. I didn't know that they use donkeys so much in Africa. I always thought that they were, I always relate to them very much being in Peru somehow. But I think donkeys are all over the place. Let me put on this. I did do a thing. I mean, this is also such a challenge for me too, because it just really, I want to try and get this excitement, and I'm probably like just champing at the bit here, because then they break her up also into three aspects, so it becomes a little more digestible and easier to understand. There we go. So they they divide it into three parts, okay, of the Navratri. And the first part is ruled by the goddess Durga, okay, which symbolizes, I would say, those first 30 years of life, yeah, give or take. I mean, yeah. So we're dealing with the innocent goddess. Let's see if I've got better. Yeah, we're dealing with the youngest girl, full of innocence and potential. She's also the purifier. The purity, she's very strong and full of courage. Then the second one is Brahmacharini, who symbolizes a woman's journey of learning and growing, full of devotion and discipline. The third part of Durga is Chandraganta, which represents the early married woman, bringing love, care, and balance into her relationships. And she is just the absolute beautiful goddess. Then the second part, they divide the second trinity, is actually ruled by goddess Lakshmi. So why I like these is these are just like parts of ourselves. If we want Lakshmi to work for us, which everybody seems to just want Lakshmi to work for us, these are the parts of ourselves that we need to embrace and become at peace with, yeah? Which is Kushmanda, who symbolizes the nurturing mother, full of creativity and caring and the power to give life. She is the creator, the homemaker, the creator. She can do anything. It's that beautiful picture which we all love. Then we have Skandamata, who represents the protective mother, the protective, strong and caring and ready to defend her loved ones. She's also the mother, creator, protector, the protector. The third part of Lakshmi is Katyayani, who symbolizes a woman's warrior spirit, standing up for her rights with courage and with strength. She is the great warrior goddess. And then it moves into the third major goddess that they separated into, is Saraswati, who is actually this beautiful goddess of music. She's the one that's holding the music, and she's usually always dressed in white. And I find it so interesting that but I think we have Kalaratri, who is basically Kali, who represents the fierce and transformative woman who overcomes challenges and fears. It's like after her children have grown, she's got to take that courage to rebuild her life or to remake her life. So there's a lot of destruction, and a lot of her life has fallen apart. It's the beginning of that empty nest syndrome. So she has to also fight really fiercely to destroy all those her negative aspects of herself. Yes, I can do this. I'm capable. She's been out of the loop, out of for so long, so out of the marketplace. So she has to take so much fierceness and courage within herself and not let anything deter her. The third part of Saraswati, the second part of Saraswati, is Mahagauri, who I just love that after that deep, heavy fighting and that absolute, I mean, that she's really fought hard. You know, there's a lot of blood, sweat going on with Makali or Kalamatre. She is now refreshed. She comes as this absolute purity, this beauty who's white and crystal clear and shining. And she represents the wise, graceful woman who has learned from life's struggles and found peace. You know, she's got that, you know, she's the only two ways you can grow old, with a grumpy face or with a happy face. There becomes very little in between. So it's think good thoughts so that when you're old, they kind of stick on your face and make you smiley and happy and shiny. She also symbolizes purity, peace, and tranquility. I remember I noticed that for everybody, not just women. With my father, who was quite like always stood for what was right, but I was like really knocked once. I mean, he was then in his 80s, 70s or 80s, and he just said, "Ugh, let it be. Ugh, you don't want to fight." He said, "When I was younger, I would fight, but now, you know." So peace is different. You take a whole new aspect of life. And then the third part of Saraswati is Siddhidatri, who has now connected with the supernatural, her power and her wisdom. And she represents the wise elder, a woman who has gained spiritual wisdom and inner fulfillment. And yes, a lot of age gives us a lot of beautiful powers as well in our life. She's sitting completely content. Oh, Suzette, you're going. Bye. We'll see you again. Absolutely. I'm fascinated with this donkey part. I'm really so fascinated with the donkey part. Yeah. I can also send it to you if you want, Grace. And you have your own. But we'll put them together much more prettily. I mean, they're together really prettily, and I've had a great time challenging GPT to do the illustrations that I want and not what they want to give me. So it's been a lot of like recreating and really working hard with Spider. I'm feeling very much like I have Spider-wise Spider-Woman in my life at the moment, just calling me to create all over the place. I tend to forget that I only have one brain cell, which has to jump around quite a lot in my head. And then so interesting is that he doesn't marry them. He's married to somebody else. The mythology is quite complicated, but not as complicated as it seems to be. You have to just keep rereading and reading. Ooh, yummy. That sounds so delicious. I will send them to you. I'll send the whole troop to you if you like. But she is particularly beautiful. I get quite excited when they listen so nicely to me. Because at the end of all of this, then we have the day of Lord Rama, who is revered during Navaratri on the last day, that was when he symbolizes the living prince, the guy that's living in the world, who is victorious hero, who symbolizes the triumph of basically good over our lower, doing the work you were meant to do over our lower nature. He symbolizes courage, determination, power, strength, compassion, all those wonderful things which are strong for men. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Yolanda, you're so lucky to have grown. Now, Cara, this always makes me hungry. You guys are starting in the morning. I'm trying to get through my fast. And it's getting night time, and now I'm getting hungry, and you guys are all talking about this delicious breakfast. Yeah. Oh, you're so lucky, Yolanda. Well, hey, we all given what we're given, yeah. I grew up. What did I read? I read a lot of historical things. My mother would, as I grew older, she'd say to me, "I wish you would just read a love story." I said, "But I don't want to read a love story." She said, "For goodness sake, read a Mills and Boone or something. Always the serious stuff." Oh, what are you? What's? And then scramble some eggs on the inside. Should be so tasty and yummy. Yes. Oh, you see, you guys make me so hungry. I shall be lucky. I shall be eating some apples and oranges. I'm just feeling to elevate my energy a little bit, clear my energy, part of my purification at the moment. So this didn't come across as clearly as I would have liked it to have. It might be easier to, well, I know I'm putting it together in a small book form so that you can go backwards and forwards and make your own notes and do your own transformation and hopefully be ready when we get to Navratri after, I think it comes just after, it's either before or after, what's the one where they light the candles, the New Year? I've forgotten what it's called now. Oh, it's not Holly we've just had. Um, oh, my brain has got a headache. My brain got a headache because I lost my notes. So let's just go through some of the other goddesses a little bit more in detail because they hold so much beautiful power. Let's see what we can share with us. You can have a look at them while we go through some of them. Cool. There we go. Shalaputri. Oh, those are their weapons. We'll go through those. Let me actually go through the weapons. I do have them somewhere here, and they're quite beautifully symbolic, if I can find them. Just give me a minute here. This is beautifully challenging for me because I like to know my stuff. So, cool. Okay. So maybe you want to write some of these down, what they actually mean, because they Indian drawings, iconography. What's it? Anyway, are full of all these powers, and a lot of the meditations. People say you don't have to even really meditate; just sit and just gaze upon a picture of the god, and then you understand what weapons they're carrying and what they're symbolizing in your life, and why you're drawn to them at that moment in your life. So the discus is the chakra, which is a spinning sharp-edged weapon symbolizing protection and the power of Vishnu. Vishnu is the creator. The lotus is Padma or Padmihum. Padma is a beautiful flower symbolizing purity, spiritual awakening, and beauty. The bow is a weapon representing strength and the ability to protect your dharma, your path of life, often associated with the goddess Durga. The trident is from Shiva, which is a three-pronged weapon symbolizing the three aspects of creation, preservation, and destruction. The sword is a symbol of knowledge and the power to cut through ignorance. The mace which is what Hanuman, I don't know that much about Hanuman. I know he's the monkey god. The mace is a weapon representing divine strength and power. The shield is a symbol of protection against evil forces. The conch is, when they blow it at the beginning of every purga, every ceremony. It's actually the sound of Om. It's a sacred instrument used to signal victory and invoke any auspiciousness. The axe, which Ganesha often has, is cut through negativity and attachments. The axe is often associated with Ganesha, who is depicted holding it as a symbol of his power to cut through illusion and destroy evil. It represents the removal of obstacles, destruction of ego, and transformation. The axe also symbolizes discipline, strength, and protection. The water pot, which is what Brahman Andrini carries. So if you get your brain around some of these, you can see what they're carrying with them and why they're carrying them. She usually has the water pot and the prayer beads with her. And the water, according to these guys, the Hindus, is symbolic meaning is purity and cleansing. It's often associated with purity, both physical and spiritual. It signifies the ability to cleanse the mind and the soul, representing the goddess's role and promoting purity and discipline. It also is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge and the nurturing aspect of the divine feminine. It represents the flow of spiritual knowledge and is a reminder of the importance of steady, focused discipline on the path to spiritual awakening. It also symbolizes detachment and simplicity. Carrying water reflects the virtues of simplicity and detachment, which sustains life, and the goddess's focus on spiritual nourishment rather than material desires. It also symbolizes abundance and prosperity. In a broader sense, the water pot signifies the presence of abundant divine energy, sustaining those on the path of spiritual discipline. It is a symbol of the flow of life's essential qualities, such as vitality, wisdom, and grace. So, in a nutshell, I suppose, it symbolizes spiritual sustenance, wisdom, purification, and the nurturing qualities as we lead ourselves into further down onto the spiritual path towards higher, purer states of consciousness. And then at the end we get the siddhis where we're sitting in the lotus. So I will put it together much more cohesively because I'm just so excited that I just see such a beautiful story woven through the aspects of the goddess. Oh, Yolanda, you must write them down to. No, who's teaching their boy to cook? Let's write Kebe. Yeah. You must write and make a little recipe book with him as you teach him. So every day, and he can help to decorate it or write it in his own simple things, his simple way. And maybe put a photograph of you guys doing the cookbooks are so wonderful. My son is branching out. It's quite sweet how he keeps emailing me how to do things because it's like that little mommy touch. I was very lucky. We hardly ever ate out. My mother always, as busy as she was, she always cooked. Yeah. Yeah, you were lucky to have your mother during that era, Millie. Well, oh, I don't know how my mother did everything. But hey, they were strong. Most of our mothers were very strong, built of strong stuff, and would have been even stronger had they known these beautiful aspects of the goddess. And we can tune into them at any time. Yeah. I just know. I mean, things have changed now, and anybody can study them at any time. But with the different phases of growth, especially of women. And with the Kabbalah, they only allow women to start studying the Kabbalah after 40. These are the deeper mysteries. Because really, you should be more busy with your work and with your children and making a little business and cleaning your house and cooking and doing something for yourself. And then once the children have left and your business is running, you're not building that up, you're not striving to do it, then you embrace learning the Kabbalah and the deeper mysteries. I missed the trick. What was the trick? Where's the nutrition? The nutrition's in the skin of everything. Potatoes and apples. That's very often why you should maybe sometimes peel apples, because apples absorb all the cuck in the air. So all that, the pesticides and all of that are sitting under the skin. So that's why a lot of people peel apples. Oh yeah, we've got birds all the time. I was just thinking today, as you walk into different parts of the walk, there's different birds. Yeah, it's a nice idea, hey? And you started now, and you can work with it over the years and give it to him when he's 18 or 21 and see how it changes. Let's keep it with the story, the thing of her book. Oh yeah, potato skins. Potato skins are so yummy. Don't waste them. They're absolutely yummy. Do you guys know what Maggi sauce is? Or you could eat them with soy sauce. They're absolutely delicious. Mm. They are the best potato skins, but just scrub the potatoes. So that's pretty much what I have for us today. I'm feeling very wobbly that I lost my notes. Who else do we have? She's like off on. They're just so beautiful, these goddesses. Um, there's like so much discussion with the Indians at the moment, like why so many people actually have reverence for Shiva. He is just so accessible to everybody, from the youth to the crazy youth to the children to young girls. And this is why, because he symbolizes, he's got the crescent moon, because Shiva hears women. Yeah, he's always, and it's the crescent moon before the first crescent, so it's the last crescent, and then there's the dark sky, which is the time of Kali, and then it comes up again. And a lot of young girls have Shiva as their first deity at that time, and it changes. And that's what I just find so real and rich about the Indian philosophies, is that you can change your gods over the time. You will usually, or not always, but most people will have one major god that they who's foremost in their minds. Yeah, it could be Shiva, it could be Ma Durga, it could be Kali, it could be Ganesha, and then there are other ones underneath, and you can utilize those gods and goddesses with different times or different problems that you're having within in the time of your life. So that's when we look at these beautiful goddesses here. What are the issues that we're needing? Who do you want to work with? And that's why working with them over those 9 days um, embraces all the aspects of them so that you come out feeling reasonably blessed. It's been a long 9 days. And we all got birds. I know. I'm listening to Millie's. Mm. Are there birds all over? Chloe's also got birds. The birds are just coming, and it's just so amazing how everything is just popping, popping, popping. It's like a beautiful gift every day I go out into nature, and we've been so blessed to have beautiful, beautiful um, sunshine, which is very unusual. Shame, I took a granny on a wrong walk today. Oh, she wanted to talk to my dog, and I was going to. The walk was too long and too complicated for her. I felt really bad. It wasn't that long, but I didn't. I did tell her it was much longer than the other way home for her. Anyway, oh, is Chloe baking bread? I miss that. I really do miss baking bread and making cake. I miss those things. I miss cooking. I don't cook very much anymore, being on my own. So I eat a lot of raw food. Are we going to have a bit of dry time for a while? The rivers are drying up, the little things, but I'm sure we'll get water. We have a lot of underground water here in Germany because it rains almost the whole year round. It doesn't rain, it frizzles. We have one thunderstorm a year, and then it makes up for the days that we don't have. And then it floods, so that when you're walking home, you can be walking in water up to your knees. Oh, pistachio, cranberry, sugar sprinkled on the top. Oh, Chloe, you should come to Germany. You could then we have over 3,500 different kinds of bread, but that's one that we haven't heard. Yeah, I used to love making bread. It was just so therapeutic. I know when I first made bread, I actually forgot what I did with the rising dough, and I found it many, many moons later in the warming drawer. But yeah, I didn't forget it again. Yeah. A nice little trick with making any bread rolls, because I used to just throw some bread rolls together for breakfast, is if you put a damp towel, a damp dish towel, or in the oven, because that creates that chewiness in the bread. Little trick. I don't know if you do that, Chloe, if you put the wet cloth in the oven while you're baking it. Anyway, that just makes it, that gives it that yummy, very French chewy bit. I would go to France just for bread. Something so wonderful going down to the bakery and buying your bread, which they call pain. It's a pain. And they pronounce it pain. I'm not sure how they write it. Pain, but it's pronounced pain. French bread is something different. It's something so ever delicious. Yeah, chia butter is yummy, 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 yummy. Oh, if you've got a stone oven, then it's even more yummy. Yeah. Put them together in a book, Chloe, with pictures or drawings, even if you just put your dog next to it. Thank you, Victor, for being there. Love, love, love you all. And we will keep purging. I will try and put this together simply or go through it a little easier. Did it make sense? Did you guys get some of what I was saying? Because I really would like to pass this excitement of the goddesses on to you. But maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow so that we can actually start to get the 9 aspects of the goddess within us. And then what I've been working with, which that will, we need to just get our brain around them, because I want to go also over what their names mean, because that means that makes a lot more sense as well. When we maybe we'll just do one goddess a day and just explore her and then put them together. Yes, little Alice. Kebe, are you going to still join us when you're on holiday in the mountains, or are we not going to see you for a while? Alice says, absolutely. I did that for my daughter. What did I call it? Things. I was doing. I was learning photography and Photoshop, and I was just working with Marilyn Monroe pictures for myself, and just really, she's such a goddess for me. And I wrote her a cookbook with all my practices of Marilyn Monroe, and it was things your mother forgot to tell you. So it was this little book of crazy wisdom, mainly recipes, and it was called Marilyn Cooks, and they were just all my little experiments with playing with Photoshop. If you're learning something, guys, just especially as you get older, learn them properly and save them, because very often you don't get a chance to do them the next time round. And I was like really sorry that I learned to work with Photoshop, because the first things that I did with Photoshop when I didn't know how to do them and I had to go around the back door in funny ways to do it were just so wonderful. And you can't do them again once you know how to work with it in little square shaped. Okay, I'm going to eat now. The bigger the mess, the better. Yes. Mmm. Cranberry walnut sourdough sounds very nice. No, the Germans, they do a lot of seed breads. Wow. Grows about 10 times its size. Wow. Yeah, do Alice's recipes. She's just too cute. What Alice found through the looking glass. She stumbled into a baker shop. So, yeah, what are we doing? We'll see you. Okay. When are you going, Karen? Are you off now? So we'll just look for you. But yeah, just keep the peace, my darling. Have a beautiful time with your husband. Make him feel special. Make him feel loved. Make him know that you have time for everything. And extra safe travels and healthy travels. And may the little ones totally enjoy and shine and blossom and be exhausted at night and sleep all the way through the night. Much love to you, and yeah, be very, very safe on your travels. And send us pictures. Do post us pictures. You've got a family this side of town waiting for you. So be sure to put some posts up on your YouTube so that we can go and have a look at some of your travels and your eye candy, how you see your world. So oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, traveling with little is not so easy, and yeah, traveling with twins is double the preparation, I'm sure. So my beautiful ones, embrace the aspect of the goddess. Embrace the one. You can go through on my posts and see which one you relate to now that we know a little bit more about them. And embrace their power into your life. give them some flowers and create something magical, because they're all about creating and overcoming aspects of ourselves and just moving into being fuller and more beautiful and more productive and more creative and more powerful and more confident and just being you. So continue with the purging. I did put a couple of violet flame meditations, one longer than the other, but it is definitely a time of purification. So drink lots of water, let the stuff go with the vibrations. I was also just reading something. It's that we really don't have to hang on to the stuff. It's just about sound, vibration, and intention, and just let go. I said, I created this beautiful vortex that I just chuck things in, and I hum and om a lot. It was something I didn't know. I would find very often when sometimes in trauma, when I'm thinking of things, I would actually I would call it my Marge sound. It's oh, I think we all do it. And the Hindus have it. It's actually a deep call from the heart. It's a spontaneous sound that we make that comes from the heart. So just try and think about that sound that jumps out of your voice sometimes in stress. So I love you all, dear ones. We'll be here tomorrow for a beautiful cleaning and purging of our temples. Enjoy the violet flame meditation. Don't forget the violet flame is really extremely powerful again. At the moment, it goes through. It's always there, but sometimes it's really even more powerful. And just blossom and be open to changing your DNA and changing into this incredible, slowly but surely, these amazing crystalline beings that we are being created into. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And lots of things to think about, Dale. Yeah, lots of things. Did you know that anybody, and I can't remember the word, that anybody that abuses women or is disrespectful to women in India, in Hindu, is a demon? I think that I like that very much. Who doesn't acknowledge the mother? So, great blessings. Enjoy your breakfast. Love your bread recipes. I'm now going to go and scrounge in my kitchen and pretend that my apples and oranges are bread and cranberries. Love you lots, everybody. Have the most magnificent, wonderful day. Bye. See you on the morrow.